You're watching New Kids on the Block on the day the government's 50-day deadline ends. It's apt that in the last show of the year, we deal with the year's most impactful story with our young student leaders. Yes, we are talking about demonetization, but there's lots more also on the show. Take a look.
आज भी दुनिया के कई समृद्ध देश हैं.
Prime Minister Modi had asked for 50 days for things to normalize after demonetization. The government says we are already reaping the benefits, but the opposition doesn't agree. Who is right?
It's not black. कोयले में कितना गया, 2G में कितना गया, है खबर यही रहती थी कितना गया. आज लोग देखें यार आज कितना आया.
The government has dubbed all of us in the opposition as supporters of black money hoarders and tax evaders. When the Prime Minister addresses the nation tomorrow or on any other day, the people expect that he will make a categorical announcement that all restrictions on money have been ended.
So to talk about all of this, the perspective, will the government be praised for what it's achieved in these 50 days, and are people optimistic about the year ahead, or are things far from normal? Let's ask our student leaders and let me introduce them to you. We have Shaila Rashid, who is from ISA, that's a left student organization. We have Abhijit Dwivedi, who is from ABVP, and also Allegra on the show. From BASPA, which is an Ambedkar student organization, we have Shabana. From NSUI, we have Lenny Jadhav. And from SFI, which is another left student organization, we have Shatrupa Chakraborty. Shatrupa, if I can start with you, how do you think we've seen what various leaders, whether it's Rahul Gandhi or Sitaram Yechury, they've given a list of questions of what still doesn't look right. But the government says they're just being pessimists and they're not understanding the mood of the people. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, actually we want to raise this question that whose interest this present government is serving, because this move of demonetization is very poor move. First, the government itself did not have any preparations for going for this kind of move, which has amount to even make a really pathetic inconvenience for the people. Secondly, that what exactly the government is trying to do, what question the government is trying to address. Is it the question of black money? Now, how many of the total percentage of the population in our country is holding black money in cash? This is a question that needs to be answered, and the government doesn't seem to have any proper answer to this question. Now, this series of apps that government is trying to introduce, who are going to use these apps? Like 76% of the total population of our country doesn't even have the access to internet.
Okay.
17% of the people only uses the smartphones.
Okay.
So who are the people who are going to get benefits out of this kind of policies?
Okay, Abhijit, if I can come to you to counter that, one of the things that you would perhaps accept is that if the government expected was said in the 50 days things would be normal, well, it's not normal at the ATMs at least. Is that something that the people are going to hold against the government, do you think?
No, see, it is matter of perception. You might presume that the things have not gone well, but I have come from Nandgaon, from a tour of MP recently in Nandgaon, Indore, Gwalior, etc. And even in JNU, at the ATM at the Kaveri hostel, there is enough cash there. There is no problem of the cash. Even in the Northeast, the government has taken special initiatives. 610 tons of the note currency or the new note currency have been transferred to Manipur, Nagaland, Meghalaya, etc., where there was a crisis of the notes. As far as the question, the point raised by her that the people don't have the access to the digital payment systems, I would like to tell them that even with a 700 or 800 rupees phone, there are systems, UPI, universal payment models, wherein even without having the knowledge, this app is available in almost 24 languages,
right.
and therein you can access it without even having a basic knowledge of the internet or any such thing.
Shaila, even if you may disagree with what Abhijit is saying, there are certain indices which have been released by the government in the finance minister's press conference on Thursday as well, which show that certain ways, for instance, the markets today seem to welcome it. They seem to be doing really well for 2016. And certain other indices which the government said that things weren't that bad.
Well, I mean, first of all, I would like to congratulate the ABVP representative here, because after 209 deaths due to demonetization, he has the courage and the confidence to defend it so blatantly. I'm really surprised and I really congratulate you. I hope BJP takes note of that, first of all. Second thing, that as you know, the points that were raised by Shatrupa earlier, I would just add on to those and I would ask a few more questions. Since you're speaking as the government, I would like to ask you a few questions. First, have the restrictions on the payments that are available at the ATMs, has the restriction ended? No. This morning there was a photo uploaded from Tamil Nadu where it shows that the restriction now, the ATMs are giving only 1,000 rupees. It's written over there that you can only withdraw 1,000. Hang on, just let me finish. 1,000, you can only withdraw 1,000 rupees, that's all. Second thing, where is the data? Where is the data on black money? How much black money have you recovered? And how are the people being punished? The only people who have been found actually with black money and with new notes, you know, with lakhs and crores of new notes, are the BJP people. What do you have to say about that? You know, your MLA candidates, your zonal secretaries have been found with 33 lakh, 22 lakh. One more question. There are all these new students sitting here. All of them must be staying in PGs, or most of them at least. You can ask them, have their landlords stopped taking money in cash? Or are they using digital payments, the landlords, or are they still taking cash? If this is not, I mean, this is black money, as many economists have, you know, said, it's not about a stack, it's about a flow.
Right.
The black transactions are still happening. What do we do about that?
Okay, just a quick poll on that. Has anyone faced any kind of, anyone has a story to share about this? About payments, your personal experiences? Landlord payments? No? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So essentially, I live in a PG near East Delhi. So my landlord is an old lady. She's around 65 years old. So the main issue I'm facing is that I'm not able to, the main source of her income is the rent that she derives from me. And if I deposit all the money in her account, so essentially that leads to that she would have to queue up in the lines and take the money. So that would be a huge, it is a burden on her for the source of income. So she demands the money.
Take it or not?
She's not ready to take it. That's essentially my point, that she's not ready to take it. And adding to one more point I would like to add to ma'am's point. So essentially the purpose of demonetization was to counter the black money move, right? So one of the questions, it might seem like a generic question, but the main source of black money, the main source is the Swiss bank accounts holders. So why isn't Mr. Narendra Modi releasing the list of all the Swiss bank account holders that has been, this is one of the doubt that remains, that persists within all the masses and the students as well.
Abhijit, that's a question that a lot of opposition leaders are asking as well. That, you know, if you're talking about, that's why perhaps it's now the government is only talking about cashless and digital economy.
See, I should be given at least 2 minutes to answer all the questions, okay?
You have to keep in mind there are a lot of other people who haven't
spoken. Because they have been,
okay, go ahead quickly, yeah.
Please let me speak.
Please speak.
The first point is the point regarding the issue that what is the exact amount of black money. The government has recently said, even yesterday has said that there is actually 4 lakh crore rupees which we are going to examine in detail because of there are 3 kind of categories in which this particular examination is going to take place. One in which suddenly there was always continuously transaction taking place, but suddenly there is a rise from 80 lakh crore rupees
and
above.
What is the total percentage of black money in circulation?
There is no specific data on that particular thing.
What are we doing?
But the point is that even the flow, but even the stock is affected by the cash. The other point is,
okay, we understand the sentiment that you're raising, but I just wanted to go to Shabana on this, that one of the things that has been announced by the government today on the 50th deadline is the BHIM app, and it seems to be a tribute, the Prime Minister said, to Dr. Ambedkar. How do you see that?
I think I have not heard about it as it came out today only, but if that's the case, I think it's a very bad joke. Like, due to demonetization, the most affected people have been the women, have been the SC, STs who are living in the remote villages, remote corners, pockets of India, and there have been so many stories which came in newspaper, and I think that would have been just tip of the iceberg. There would have been so many other stories where the villages, they don't have cash. The small shops, they got closed for 4-5 days, and 50 days is a long time. It's not, we can survive for 50 days without cash on cashless basis, but there are people who need cash for every day. They need, there are daily wage laborers who didn't have jobs for like one day and they could not feed their family. So it's not a small thing. Lives were lost, and that too, you want, in the black money economy, there's only less than 5% is in the form of cash. Rest others is in bank accounts in other forms, which the government is not doing anything to hold it, and then they are trying to attack the small time black money.
Lenny, if I can take up a different aspect of these 50 days with you. Initially, we saw a united opposition protest in Parliament. Do you think the opposition has lost its momentum, though, in not being able to appear united in their opposition or their, campaign against demonetization?
So, firstly, I totally disagree, because I think the entire opposition is still standing very strong against demonetization. And answering to the earlier thing which you asked, 50 days, the gentleman, the Prime Minister, asked for 50 days. And in 50 days, there have been 61 rules which have been changed. They were not at all prepared for this. India, such a vast country, India with people from all class, creeds, and you come up with a decision without proper preparation, which is really something which needs to be discussed, and especially by the youngsters. Because when this government came, they promised jobs, they promised various things. Due to demonetization, so many jobs have been lost. Secondly, the demonetization thing, people, they are very proud today. What you are asking her, I would like to answer to that. They have built a temple. They are playing with our emotions. Today, they come up with a Bhima. Earlier, they are talking about patriotism. We are enough nationalists. We don't need to stand in queues to determine how Rashtravadi we are. And playing with emotions of people is what the current Prime Minister is doing. Demonetization is an economic perspective and not an emotional perspective. And with all his theatrics and special ways he speaks to people, he's trying to fool the nation with the whole thing.
Okay.